Alright guys, so today is a good day and I'm going to show you why. So when I started driving this car, it had 11,056 miles on it. And if you look right here, it has 11,573. So what that means is it is time to drain the brake-in oil. So the Cadillac motor is going to get its first oil change. Yay! So I have a new filter and I also have new oil. But another thing of while I'm at it is if I do this, I get oil on my hand. So there's a leak right here that I need to fix, and it's been dripping and it's been annoying, but the problem is this still keeps a lot of oil in it. So now that I'm changing it, I'm at the point where it's like, well, might as well do it. So here's the old oil filter and here's the new one. So usually you can probably get more than 500 miles out of one of these, but since the oil's getting changed, I figured I might as well change this. If there's any kind of little metal particles from startup and initial break-in, it's all going to be trapped inside of there. So the messy part about this is all the oil that's stuck in this container. You see all that in there? So that's how it works. It does look pretty gross. I removed the oil filter housing. It was fairly easy. It's just 2 bolts that go into those holes. But I did it for 2 reasons. For one, I can't figure out if my oil leak is from this or if it's from this brass fitting. So I'm going to go ahead and put Teflon tape on both of those to make sure that there's no more leaks. But 2, you can just see how dirty this valve cover has gotten because I mean, it's a really small leak. It's not big, but you can just see that it just runs oil all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I have the oil filter housing back on. I put Teflon tape on that, so we'll see if it leaks. But I believe the way that this oil system works is the oil is pumped in here, goes around the filter, gets sucked in through the filter, and then back through a few holes on this shaft, and then back down that tube into the engine. So I'm going to do this like I do a normal oil filter. You always fill the filter full of oil first, so I'm going to put some of this. This is the oil I'm putting in it. So it's Joe Gibbs driven 1040. What I like about it is it's basically 4 old cars. So ZDDP zinc in it is what I like about it the best. But you know, it's supposed to be made for old cars, and that's what I'm going to put in it. It's kind of expensive, but you know, for the amount of money I paid for this motor, it's worth it to me. So let's go ahead and put it in. Don't forget to put in this piece. I call it the top hat. Basically, it just holds the filter up higher. This goes down in there like that. And this has a little rubber seal on it. Now it's really raining. Yeah, rain. Luckily I got this handy dandy umbrella. So it's been raining off and on. It'll rain a little bit and then rain a little harder and then stop, and then, so I'm not really worried about it at this point. The only thing that's going to suck is trying to change the oil completely under the car. Well, it looks like I'm out of luck. So if I'd started 10 minutes earlier, I could have put the other 4 quarts in the motor. So right now I'm just going to wait, sadly. I'm pretty sure it'll let up here in a little bit, but like I said, it's been off and on all day. I thought I had a good enough chance, but it doesn't look like it now. So the rain sort of let up, sort of. My back is still completely soaked from laying on wet ground, draining out the old oil. The old oil looked good. There wasn't any big chunks, there wasn't any metal, there wasn't any water, so I wasn't expecting anything like that anyway, but at the same time, now it's time to put in my other 4 quarts, and then I'm going to put in 3 and then start it up for a little bit and then let it top off, and then from there I might do some other maintenance. Golden. So we have the engine running, and I'm going to kick it down. And there's no oil light, so we know we have oil pressure. So far, no leaks right here. Also, I changed the O-ring on the pan bolt. So far, that's good. So the plan now is to roll it into the alley, get it flat, and then check the oil again. So I ran the car in front of the house and checked the oil, topped it off. It's pretty good. I also checked the brake fluid. That's good and topped off. I had to add a little bit to the power steering pump just because the power steering pump runs down to the gearbox at the bottom, and that has a little bit of a leak, so I just need to check it every once in a while. Another thing I do when I change the oil is I use this little hand pump, and I put a little bit of oil in this cup right here for the generator, and I also do the same thing for this distributor here in the back. So the reason I do that, I mean, every oil change I plan on doing it this first one obviously, but that way at least there's some oil getting down in there. I did that before I installed it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it up and check the transmission fluid. It's about the last thing. And other than that, I didn't check coolant, but I know that's good. Other than that, you know, she's running great. We look at that, my temp gauge decides to work today. It works probably every 10 times maybe that I run this car. There's my fuel gauge. Who knows if that's even right? I put 10 gallons in it and it's full, so who knows if that even reads correctly. What I've been doing is every time it gets to empty, I put just a little bit more than I did before. I'm afraid to fill it all the way up because last time I filled it all the way up, it leaked like 4 or 5 gallons out. So who knows what's the deal.